we're live. Been a little bit of a pain today with the online. All right. How you guys doing? What time is it? It is 5:55. I'm 5 minutes early. I apologize. All right. My name is Peter Limber, a.k.a. Deep Dish Football. Welcome to Deep Dish Football Live. 7th season premiere. 7 seasons. Episode 1, Week 1, 2023. Here we go. Let's get excited as IHSA Football kicks off. It's going to be a fun season, great season. Overall, I'm excited to be back, and let's get ready. Let's get started. All right, if you don't know my name is Peter Limber, a.k.a. Coach Big Pete of DeepDishFootball.com, publisher of Deep Dish Football. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email, again, is CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com. Again, if you want any questions to be read during the live broadcast this season, please email me or DM me at CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com. I'm on Facebook Live on the Deep Dish Football Facebook page and Coach Big Pete Facebook page and the DuPage Run and Shoot Facebook page. I'm also on Instagram Live. Hello, Instagram. How you doing? It is good to be back. 7th season. Here we go. Next, Breakfast with Coach Big Pete is on Saturday, 9 a.m. As always, on Instagram Live and the Coach Big Pete Facebook page on Saturday. And it's going to be a little bit tough. I'll get into that as well. DuPage Run and Shoot show is tomorrow. Going to be filming with my co-host, Patrick Codo. Make sure you follow DuPage Run and Shoot show, covering DuPage County football. We also cover some IHSA football as well as some of the bigger games too. So make sure you follow DuPage Run and Shoot on Twitter and Facebook as well. We are still doing questions. I'll be reading questions as well. Please send your questions to CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com as always. Again, if you like to work, feel free to leave a tip, donation / Venmo or PayPal link either on DeepDishFootball.com and on this broadcast or any of that. As well, and again, starting Sunday, Saturday night, this Saturday night might start it. No donations, no tips. Going to do the whole month because it's Childhood Cancer Awareness Month or Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month. I will be putting up the link to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. No money goes to me, just to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. If you like my work, if you hate my work, please send us St. Jude's. Again, Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, September. You're going to see a lot of the yellow ribbons just to warn some people. Also, and as we get into the weekend and we start the first week, awards, nominations. I need those stats, those big game stats. If you have them, please send them to email, CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com. Tweet at me. X, whatever the hell it's called. DM me, Snapchat me, send me those stats. Nominate your player for Player of the Night in the state of Illinois who had a big game. That will be awarded. It's not going to be midnight on Friday, on Saturday morning this week because of a game starting a little bit later. So probably 1 a.m. the awards will come out. Also, not only that, but I'm doing, again, the hog unit of the night. What offensive line showed up and showed out that night? Again, rushing stats altogether for an offensive line. Sacks allowed, the numbers, please let me know. My email is CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com and DM me all the information. And again, the Sunday conclusion article will be out every Sunday, talking about the weekend's action. I need your stats so I can put, if you had a big game on the Sunday conclusion, and feature yourself as a top performer in the state of Illinois. And this goes from 1A to 8A, all varsity football. Please let me know. Again, DM me, email me, the whole shebang. Let me know. I'm trying to see if I got anything else that I talked about. I think we went for everything perfectly. All right, so we get into football and we get into the big thing of heat. The heat situation is dire. It is bad. It is really bad outside. And especially for a fat guy like myself, I'm sweating like a pig. So I completely understand the heat, and safety first with these kids. That's the most important thing. The big thing is a lot of people, well, back in your day, shut the fuck up and sit down. Again, please understand, safety first with these kids. This heat is a killer, and it is imperiled that we look out for these kids and their safety. So please, just relax. Now, Friday we're supposed to get some good weather. It's supposed to be cooler. I know Friday night we're supposed to get some pretty bad rain, some rain in central in the southern Illinois area. So yeah, it's going to be pretty bad. So again, please, as I say this to you, guys, it's going to be a little bit of a delay because of what the weather and the games. I know a lot of games are starting at 8 p.m. Some games are also being moved to Saturday and everything else. So it's going to be a little bit of a hectic week. And I know that rain is not good, especially in that central Illinois area. So we'll see what happens there. And wait, sorry about that. Sorry about that Facebook Live. I'm just doing one thing. Just sorry about that. Come on. Sorry about that, guys. Just wait 1 second. All right. Sorry about that. Instagram Live cut off for some reason. But again, yeah. So the heat, and again, it's just the kids' safety. And I know there's a lot of them moving indoors. I know the CPS, if you go out, you can't go outside. You have to practice indoors. Sorry about that Instagram Live. Had a little bit of a problem. Thing was cutting off. I apologize. All right. As we get done with the heat, and it's going to be a hectic weekend. I completely understand. After the heat, I want to talk about one thing, and one thing that is absolutely amazing: parity. One of the big things that I'm seeing a lot of, and especially a lot of the mid-sized to large-sized high school teams, I am seeing a very, very scary amount of seniors that have graduated, and there's a lot of incoming starters. That means one thing, and I love it the most: parity. I think it's going to be absolutely crazy, and I do not know why my Instagram Live keeps cutting off. I apologize. But again, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be insane. I'm telling you right now, there's going to be a lot of things that we did not see coming this whole season. We honestly did not see coming. It's going to be pure craziness. I think last season, I thought what was going to happen really didn't happen. We had a normal season after that week 2. I think it was week 5 or week 6, we had some craziness. But overall, last season was it felt normal. 2021 was a crazy year. I think this year could be absolutely crazy. I think it's going to be a great season. I'm excited about it. And let's get into the deep dish football games of the week, shall we? First one, deep dish football game of the week. Crete-Monee versus Carmel. Very excited about going to this game Friday night. Last deep dish football game of the week. And I really am excited to see this Carmel team. I think this Carmel team can make a deep run in the playoffs. I think they can go state title hunting, go play football on Thanksgiving. I really like this Carmel team. Crete-Monee, Franklin's gone. Just three of their top seniors have graduated, so it's going to be very interesting. They have the linemen, though. I really like the linemen, especially one of their linebackers, absolute stud. Kenwood versus Lincoln Way East moved to Saturday morning, 10 a.m. I really think this is a big proving point for Kenwood. If they can beat a Lincoln Way East team that has a lot of starters returning, one of the very few teams that has an enormous amount of starters returning, I really think this Kenwood team is a big proving point for them. Again, Kenwood gets Stewart from Bolingbrook transfer. They got another running back transfer as well. This is a star-studded team, but again, like I said, star-studded teams don't mean wins. It's got to be a cohesive unit, and we'll see what happens against Kenwood versus Lincoln Way East. Wheaton-Warrenville South versus Simeon on a Saturday afternoon. Again, Simeon's Coach Culbrough has stepped down. Wheaton-Warrenville South looks good. Luca Carbonera, player to keep an eye out for. 2 good tight ends as well. This is an interesting Wayne Warrenville South team in the tough Duquesne Conference that you must keep an eye out for. Mount Carmel versus East St. Louis is on everyone's tip of the tongue. That's all I hear. Mount Carmel, East St. Louis. That's the big game. That's the big game. The big thing for me is this. East St. Louis doesn't need this win. Mount Carmel needs this win. East St. Louis, to me, they graduated a star-studded offensive line, a historic offensive line. For Mount Carmel, to me, I think the big thing is with the transfers that they got. The kid from Macomb, the offensive lineman from Lincoln Way West, a good, solid offensive lineman too. They have the talent. The big thing is going to be the cohesion, and I talk about this. This is key in high school football, cohesion. If it doesn't work, new teammates battling for starting time, sometimes it gets a little hectic. So we're going to see. But again, Mount Carmel needs this win. East St. Louis will be fine. They'll be fine. But this is going to be a big game for Mount Carmel, and it's a historic game because I know everyone's happy that this game is finally being made. I know it happened before, but I think this game it's going to be packed. Illinois State Hancock Stadium it's going to be packed. Peoria versus Rochester, big game. Defense. It's going to be an air attack. It's going to be air attack and an attack on the ground. Tino Geist is a hell of a quarterback. Corey Rutherford is a hell of a wide receiver. Good offensive line. A little bit underrated too. They got two young studs on that offensive line. Rochester Gillespie, the quarterback, he is going to be something special for the Rockets. And again, Derek Leonard is the quarterback whisperer in the state of Illinois. So keep an eye out for that game. St. Francis versus DGN. This is a big game for Downers Grove North. Big proving point. They have a chance to beat that York of last year. St. Francis, Alessio is back. Good young group of talent as well. They graduated their top receiver, but they got a bunch of new faces. Zachary Washington, a player to keep an eye out for. The big thing against DGN is going to be Noah Battle. Noah Battle is going to have a hell of a year this year. Owen Lansu, young quarterback. This is his big varsity debut. We're going to see what happens. Charlie Cruz, another player to keep an eye out for as well. Great linebacking core as well. Forgot his last name. They got a stud linebacker, so this is going to be a good game. I think he just committed to Ball State, if I'm not mistaken. Next one, Wilmington versus Seneca. Seneca, the big team that could last year, takes on Wilmington, Old Interstate 8 rivals. Again, with Seneca, the big thing is going to be that offensive line and defense. And the defense, again, penetration. That Wilmington offensive line, they do not let up. They will knock you on your ass. That's a game to watch. Kankakee versus Nazareth Academy. Kankakee versus Nazareth Academy. One of the better games from last year. Nazareth irked out a win at home. Now they travel to Kankakee. This is a big game right now. Logan, I'm going to murder his name for the whole season. I apologize. He's a star quarterback. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks that Nazareth's ever put on the field. He's unbelievable. Gabe Kaminsky, the defensive end. It is going to be a great game. Kankakee, unbelievable. The two brothers on the linebacking core. Jari is already graduated, so there's going to be a little bit questions on the secondary. Offensive line, really good. They got some big boys that'll knock you on your ass. All right, so we get into Batavia versus Phillips. Because I know people are talking about Batavia versus Phillips. I know I got to say that. To me, Phillips is a little bit. They got the linebackers, but the big thing is what they have on offense. They have two good offensive linemen, but we will see what happens. Batavia is just star-studded. They're hunting for a state title. Whitewell is a player that is up and coming for them. Also, Charlie Wepley, unbelievable talent. Jonathan Brown, I forgot the kid, offensive lineman Perico. He's a hell of a player too. So again, the Batavia Phillips game, I think they get the slight edge in that one. Quincy versus Quincy Notre Dame. Again, big rivalry between them. Happy to see this game happen. Again, Quincy Notre Dame got some good athletes. Quincy has an unbelievable offense that you must know about. The Blue Devils, their quarterback, also a star-studded running back, and also a good wide receiver core too for Quincy. Big thing for Quincy Notre Dame is going to be that defensive line, and can they get any pressure on the quarterback of Quincy? Libertyville versus Lamont. It's another big game of two teams that are risers. Lamont is looking good this season. Solomon is graduated, but they have a quarterback in the ranks. He's a multi-purpose athlete. And a good offensive line, too. Keep an eye out for newcomer Nico Lococo from the Lamont team. Libertyville, just unbelievable offensive line. A good multi-sport quarterback, baseball star as well. It's going to be a big-time game. Hinsdale Central versus Naperville Central. Wow. We will see. This is a foundation game. I've talked about this before in the video. This is a game where we're going to see two teams that if they get that first win, it's going to be big for them. Hinsdale Central, they had an injury-plagued season last season. Riley Contreras is ready to play. Naperville Central, Maverick Oley, and their quarterback, new cat, quarterback for Naperville Central. I'm forgetting his last name. It's going to kill me. I'm dumb, yes. Naperville North versus Homewood Flossmoor, always big. Jacob Bell takes over for Aiden Gray, who's now going to Northwestern. Homewood Flossmoor, unbelievable line on offense and defense. Keep an eye out for Brigham, their running back. He's going to be a star. Watch out for Homewood Flossmoor Vikings. Richmond Burden versus Marion Central Catholic. This is the big proving game for Marion Central Catholic last year. They fell flat against Wayne Academy in week 1. This is a big game for Marion Central's also Cale McPhail. Richmond Burden, as always, a good running game and sizable wide receivers, very lengthy wide receivers. Impressive. So this is going to be another game to watch out for. Hoffman Estates versus Buffalo Grove. Buffalo Grove, as always, great defense. Anthony Palerno, wide receiver and linebacker. Hoffman Estates, they get Matt Lawson from Elgin, who transferred up there. I like this Hoffman Estates team. I think they're very underrated. Keep an eye out for Matt Lawson. He's a star. Undersized star, but he will break your ankles. Oswego versus Neuqua Valley. Oswego had a bad season last season. They're ready to go back in the driver's seat. Oswego looks really good this season. Very impressed with the offensive line of Oswego and defensive line. They play a tough Neuqua Valley team that Ryan Moeller, he is their star quarterback. He's the next big thing to come out of Neuqua Valley, along with Mascara and their two-way athlete, wide receiver, running back Miskell, who's an absolute stud. So this is definitely a team to keep an eye out for. Also, they got a defensive tackle, undersized defensive tackle, pain in the ass for offensive linemen. So definitely a thing to keep an eye on. Where am I? Palatine versus St. Charles North. I'm trying to find where I am for the games. Palatine, really good. Jalen Williams, he's back. He's a stud. Taking on a St. Charles North team. Plum, he's ready. Again, this St. Charles North team's got that feeling of that 2021 Wheaton North team. So this St. Charles North team, they want to stay tiled. They're hungry. They're going against a tough Palatine defense. The big thing is going to be Palatine's offense. We'll see where it progresses. And against St. Charles North, the big thing I'm looking at is their defensive line of the North Stars. Lockport versus Plainfield North. Visited Plainfield North. They look ready. They look good. Their quarterback is a senior leader. They also got a young and upcoming quarterback in Connor Gregory. The quarterback transferred from Plainfield, Oswego East, I apologize. So that's going to be a game to watch out. Lockport looks unbelievable this season. Last year, it was a little on and off, but they are in a stride. Keep an eye out for the youthfulness of Lockport. I really, really like that offensive line and the secondary of Lockport. Plainfield East versus Bradley Bourbonnais. New coach with a Plainfield East going against a tough Bradley Bourbonnais with Cole at quarterback. Unbelievable linebacker Mancilla. I forgot his last name. Mancilla, who's an absolute star. Plainfield East, Paredes is back. I'm going to say the kid's brother's name. I apologize. But they have a star receiver at Plainfield East. Um, it's going to be a very interesting game, especially with Bradley Bourbonnais' secondary against Plainfield East and Bradley Bourbonnais' passing attack against Plainfield East's secondary. That's definitely a thing to keep an eye out for. Sacred Heart Griffin versus Normal Community High School. Sacred Heart Griffin graduated a lot of talent, but again, we're in that mold of they're Rochester from last year. Everyone's doubting Sacred Heart Griffin. They're not that good. That's complete BS. Sacred Heart Griffin's going to be good this year. New coach, Ken Leonard, retired. This is going to be a good game. I think Sacred Heart Griffin is going to make it to the playoffs. I think I have them as the top 3 in that Central State 8. So don't sleep on Sacred Heart Griffin. For Normal, good defensive line, Niekamp, good linebackers, Caraway. Another play to keep an eye out for, Cooper Caraway from Normal. This is definitely a game to watch. Tuscola versus St. Bede. I love this game. Good small school game. With Tuscola, they have an array of multi-purpose talented players, especially with their passing game. I like their offensive line as well. With St. Bede, the transfer of Max Bray, one of the best quarterbacks in the state of Illinois, from Aurora Christian to St. Bede. He's a great addition to the St. Bede Bruins. I'm telling you right now, keep a close eye on Max Bray. He's going to be a hell of a player. Carbondale versus Murfreesboro. That's another big game, especially again to Southern Illinois. Carbondale, can they get that bad issue of last season off and have a good season this season? Murfreesboro looks really good, talented overall, a good wide receiver and a good safety as well. Keep an eye out for Murfreesboro. Jacobs versus Prairie Ridge. Prairie Ridge. This is a big test for them, and it's a big test also for Jacobs. Again, the Fox Valley Conference has got some good games this first week, and I think Prairie Ridge is they're gonna fall into that thing of they have the talent, and the big thing is what can they do in the playoffs? And I really do believe Prairie Ridge is going to be in the playoffs. Next, Cary Grove versus Central, Burlington Central. This is a big watch game for me because of Burlington Central, the talent that they have on the field. They have a great shot to make the playoffs this year. Coach ISO and all that whole coaching staff has done a wonderful job with Burlington Central as they take on a Cary Grove team that lacked a little bit last season. Keep a close eye out for Burlington Central. Next game, Crystal Lake Central versus Huntley. Crystal Lake Central is the darlings of everyone. Everyone's thinking Crystal Lake Central is the best team in the Fox Valley Conference. This is the big proving point. They take on a tough Huntley team with a tough running attack. Keep a close eye out for Crystal Lake Central, but also this is going to be their proving game. This is their foundation game for the season. Dixon versus Stillman Valley. Dixon versus Stillman Valley. Dixon had a great season last season. They take on a Stillman Valley that's still hungry, a little bit angry from last season. I really like this game. I'm keeping a close eye out for a Gerhardt of Dixon. Definitely a player to watch. Springfield versus University. Two teams that I have as my little bit of my shockers in Central State 8. Springfield last season, they were on and off. They're going against a University team that has the linemen to go far. Keep an eye out for that game. Camp Point Central versus North Green. I like this game for only one reason. I want to see what Camp Point Central's got. Camp Point Central, again, I love what Coach Dixon does with that team. It'll be very interesting as they take on a North Green team who I really believe in, especially with their defense. So this is going to be a good game to watch. Morgan Park versus Richards. A big game for Morgan Park. Another foundation game for Coach James. This Morgan Park team is stacked with talent. Their line, a little bit inexperienced from last season. This season, we'll see what happens. But this Morgan Park team, they want a state title and they want it now. So, and this Richards team, I'm telling you right now, this Richards team could pull off a couple few shockers in the playoffs, and they could get into a state title game. Coach K does a wonderful job with this Richards team. Underrated offensive line for Richards, so keep an eye out for the Richards Bulldogs. Next game, Fenwick versus OPRF. We'll see what happens, honestly. Both teams lackluster last season. I really like what I've seen from Fenwick, especially with their quarterback and their offensive line and overall wide receivers. With OPRF, good solid defensive line, but we got to see more from that secondary. Nichols is their star player on the DB side for OPRF. Fulton versus Forreston. NUIC had to put an NUIC game there. I'm very interested to see, one, how Forreston looks this season. I know Lena Winslow's going to be the top dogs in that conference, but I'm very interested to see what Forreston Cardinals got. Also, Fulton, they got some players. They got a bunch of this NUIC always has a bunch of multiple sports stars, but I'm really interested. They've got a good wide receiver linebacker out of the Fulton Steamers. Very interesting game. I'm watching this especially for NUIC purposes. Shout out to Kyle Campier. Make sure you follow NUIC Fanatics. All right, and that is it. My Instagram Live crashed for some reason. I don't know why. I apologize. I'm going to try to get back up for tomorrow. Just a quick reminder. Again, if you like my work, feel free to leave a tip donation via PayPal, Venmo link in the description. Also, awards. Every Saturday morning, midnight, I do the awards. You nominate them after the game. Send your stats to me, CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com, varsity stats, or tweet at me, DM me. Send them by smoke signal. Please let me know if you had a big game to nominate your player for the player of the night in the state of Illinois. The awards will come out after midnight every Friday during the season. Please let me know. Also, send in your stats for my conclusion article so you can be featured in the top performers in the state of Illinois. I think that's about it with the awards. And Hogs of the Night. I'm sorry, Friday night, Hogs of the Night. Make sure I have your information, please. Please make sure I have your information. Send your information, the stats of any top offensive line units that had a great night. Let me know and have a chance to nominate you for Hogs of the Night in the state of Illinois. Again, DM me, tweet at me, email me at CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com. And again, DuPage Run Shoot Show is tomorrow night. It's going to be published. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you follow DuPage Run Shoot Show on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Breakfast with Coach Big Pete, 9 a.m. every Saturday. Check it out on Facebook, Coach Big Pete Facebook page. Again, Sunday begins, Saturday night, Sunday morning begins Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month. You'll see a bunch of the yellow ribbons in that, and you'll see the information to donate to St. Jude's. And again, no tips, no donations for the whole month. To me, none of that. Just send it to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, as it is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month in September. Thank you guys so much. I'm sorry we had a couple technical difficulties. I was in a little bit of a rush. I apologize. But again, let's get ready for week one football. And again, send me those stats, CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much and have a lovely night.